What is going on, everybody? It is The Focus with Javon Adams. My name is Javon Adams. You can call me Jay or J Love. I do this weekly, every Monday. So thank you for joining in whichever way that you chose to do so. Uh, the website is focusnowtalk.com. Again, that's focusnowtalk.com. However you found this, I do appreciate it. Share it, rate as high as you can. It is definitely appreciated. So today I want to talk about I am awake to life, and if you're looking at it if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that I'm holding up that morning affirmations book that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, where I got a little bit of inspiration from, and it's again by Jennifer Williamson. And so today's affirmation, when I read it, I am awake to life, and I won't read the whole kind of affirmation here, but part of it, just a couple of bits and pieces of it. But I consciously slide into the rhythms of this day, awake to every subtle detail that meets me here. Then also, I awaken energies that were once dormant. So I'll read that again. I consciously slide into the rhythms of this day, awake to every subtle detail that meets me here. And then I awaken the energies that were once dormant. And so, again, talking about I am awake to life. I am awake to life. Have you, when people are at the end of their life, oftentimes if they've lived a long life, 90, 80 something, whatever that might be, or sometimes if they've lived a shorter amount of time, the ones who were awake to life will say that they have no regrets. They have no regrets about things that they did, about trying things, experimenting, about just trying to live their life to the fullest. And then there are those that say, I wish I had moved across the state, or I wish I had told that person that I love them, or they have regrets. They were dormant for either parts or long stretches of their life. And as the life is slowly ebbing out of them, and without sounding too morbid, each passing day, we get closer to our expiration than we do to the day that our time began. That's just one of those things that just happens every passing second. But having said that, it makes me think of there are a couple of different instances. I remember being on a job. I was there for a few years, and while the job was fine, I was never really fulfilled. And I spent 3-4 years of my life at this organization. And it wasn't the worst situation. It wasn't the best either. But it was nobody's fault but my own when it came to how I approached or what I could have done to be more awake to life. I was dormant. I was dormant. I wasn't doing the things that taking those calculated risks. I wasn't trying to put that smile on my face. And that, I believe, in my opinion, when you're doing those or not doing those things, that's when some of that depression comes about. That's when you feel rudderless. And the reason why this grabbed me today, I am awake to life, is that every moment, good or bad, be present in the moment. Be where your feet are, because when time is up, you don't want to go back and say, I wish I had. I wish I had, again, told that person that I love them. I wish I had started that business. I wish I had prayed more. I wish I had explored. I wish I had been more physically fit. I wish I would have read more, whatever it is. But I am awake to life because it is so easy to say I can't. It's so easy to say I can't, but it's so hard to embrace what life throws at you, the good and the bad. It makes me think of times where when you're going through those dark times, when I can remember recently when my father passed away. So that was an interesting, when I say interesting, it was just one of those it was an odd few months that just the different thoughts that come to mind, the mortality of your parents, when bad things happen to people who you are close with, whether they're family members or your friends who are your chosen family of sorts, you wonder what's going on there, and you you're unsure as to how you're going to navigate and get through these dark moments, but you get through it. But it's being alive and awaken yourself to life. The beauty of a sunrise, the beauty of a sunset. I'm going through some issues with my feet right now, my Achilles. So I really enjoy every moment that I get a chance to run, slow as it may be, or when you're working out, or when I'm working out and I'm seeing over time, I'm seeing those changes come about, or the interactions that I'm able to have with my sons, and just enjoying that moment, even in those moments of frustration. As I mentioned with my Achilles, I still am, I still am, and I don't allow myself, or doing my best to prevent myself from becoming woe is me, but instead being able to, what else can I do to move myself forward? How can I be awake in this moment? How can I be awake in my life? Consciously slide into the rhythms of this day. And when the rhythm of a day, you don't know what's going to happen, but you have a positive outlook, whatever your routines are. Hopefully you have some, again, whether it's praying, whether it's meditating, whether it's yoga, whether it's exercise, whatever those things are, is being awake to those, because the opposite is is a is a sadder existence. If you One of the things I told my youngest son, he's a senior in high school, and he was thinking about not participating in a specific sporting activity this year. And I really challenged him. I'm not going to force him to participate in sports or some activity, but I really, well, how would you feel? Think about how you would feel 3 or 4 months from now, or a year from now, or 2 years from now, if you just hadn't taken the risk and participated. You may lose, you may win, you may have a wonderful time, you may not, but would you regret it? Would you regret it? And in the moment, he didn't really want to hear what I had to say, but I said, I'll check in with you tomorrow, and let's see how you feel about it. And so he is much more, while he's having it's a difficult season, has some ups, has some downs. So it's been a challenging season, but he doesn't regret participating. And the reason being is because you don't want to look back and say, man, I wish I would have. And that's if you're awake to life and what the opportunities that it provides, that can help you to have a more plentiful, abundant, blessed life without regrets. Sure, you might open a business and it fails, but it's better to have tried than never to have done it, right? Sure, you might ask that guy or that guy or that woman out on a date and they say no. Okay, so be it. It's better than, again, having that regret. So do not be dormant, but be alive, be awake to life, be awake to life. And in that moment, because there are so many that wish that they had done more, but you have the opportunity right now to be able to do that. So this has been The Focus with Javon Adams. I do this weekly. Make sure you tell a friend about how you can discover, listen, share, all those things. FocusNowTalk.com, FocusNowTalk.com. And as I always like to say around this time, you can.